Hi, this is my discussion on home and school connection. An asset-based approach in education embraces English learners' personal and collective resources in terms of culture and language. This perspective is different from a deficit-based approach that centers on what EL lacks. Thus, the movement to an asset-based approach will enable educators to create a more welcoming environment that is receptive to students' differences. In this video, I will talk about culturally relevant teaching, ways to educate EL, and ways to establish a strong homeschool partnership that draws on the strength of families and communities. Culture predestined teaching and learning, and awareness of these influences lead to a conducive environment for students' achievement. Culture differences may also influence EL students' engagement, interaction patterns, and attitudes towards the problem-solving process. Cultures needs to be considered in an educational setting as it plays a vital role in shaping learners' cognitive and emotions. Therefore, culturally responsive teaching requires incorporating these values in the teaching process through embracing culture in the learning process. In essence, cultural competency refers to the ability to appreciate and deploy cultural diversity in a context of educational practices. This skill is instrumental to educators who want EL to feel accepted in the class and encouraged to participate. Becoming culturally sensitive consists of evaluating and adjusting of instrumental approaches to address the learner's range of cultural backgrounds. This enables educators to effectively relate to students depending on their culture, observe cultural sensitivity in the classroom. To adopt the cultural values of the EL into the classroom, teachers should incorporate culturally relative material into the lesson plans, discuss different culture celebrations, and listen to the EL personal stories. This empowers students, increases their feelings of relevancy in the classroom, and makes them more focused on learning. Also, integrating students' culture views into teaching fosters teachers' global perspective, which is an adventurous to all students. This reassures students' identities and enhances everyone's learning process. School environment is one of the most important factors influencing language adequacy, and it's critical to emphasize the importance of fostering an appropriate environment. Classroom prompting, respect, acceptance, and integrating of the EL boost for the overall learning and development of language. Socially and emotionally supportive classroom where EL receives safety, respect, and positive language learning. And some evidence points out when learners feel comfortable in their academic settings, they are more inclined to experience with language, which is essential for second language. Teachers can facilitate such conditions in their classroom by adopting graphics, groups, and multicultural. We have to also make sure students feel warm and welcoming. So as an educator, we have to make sure that we are up on their culture so that they can feel comfortable within our classrooms. Assistant EL Essential recognizes and accepting each student as capable, complex, and diverse. This entitles a cognitive and social domain of learning, which could be challenging for most EL students. Teachers are encouraged to include learning methods that cater to students with different abilities and learning styles. Families and community practice known as funds of knowledge provide values into the language learning. Family cultures and social experience shape practices. It contributes to students' cognitive development in ways they can leverage in the classroom. EL families often possess deep cultural knowledge that can enrich classroom instructions and provide an authentic learning opportunity for students. For an example, family storytelling, traditions, or bilingual skills. Parents' involvement in their children's education provides a positive result, especially when school systems attempt to embrace home culture. Community involvement strategies to the culture includes a formation of a local organization, an institution, leaders, and encouraged of an EL student and the families. These ways of encouragement offer students additional support and structure and enhance the relationship between community, school, and classmates. By adopting an asset-based approach, educators can develop a culturally sensitive learning environment that will embrace EL students and their families. We should enhance an EL academic achievement in all students' learning process, developing effective homeschool partnership, and valuing the culture and logistics of capitalizing the EL students and will bring and reduce the equity gap in EL students and schooling outcomes.